I used to think love was just quiet, that if I didn't hear it, maybe it was still there. That silence meant stability, that getting good grades, staying out of trouble, doing chores without being asked, and never asking for anything in return meant something. But it turns out in some families, it doesn't. In some families, you can be the perfect kid, and they'll still throw you away like garbage on the curb. And that's how I ended up kicked out of my childhood home the week after high school graduation, she said flatly. Your dad will want to see that. No hug, no smile, no, we're proud of you. Just, your dad will want to see that. My dad came home that night, read it silently, handed it back, and said, Guess that means you won't need much from us anymore. That was my congratulations. For a few weeks, things were tense, but normal. I started preparing for college. Jason, my best friend, was planning to go to the same university, and we joked about being dorm neighbors. I began looking at what I could bring with me, how much I needed to save over the summer, and what kind of job I could pick up on campus. Then, about a week after graduation, my parents invited me out to dinner. It was weird. We weren't the eat out together type of family. We were the what do you want from the drive-thru type. So when they asked if I wanted to go to a sit-down restaurant, I thought maybe, they were going to surprise me. Maybe a graduation gift? Maybe they were going to say something nice for once? I wore my best shirt. I even combed my hair. I was nervous, but kind of hopeful. When I got to the restaurant, they were already seated, smiling, holding hands. That's when they told me they'd gotten back together. Apparently, they'd been working things out for months without telling me, and now they were planning to renew their vows. Big ceremony. Fancy venue. Winter break. I said, wow, that's unexpected. But I'm happy for you guys. Then came the real reason for the dinner. They wanted me to contribute. We're asking you for $4,000, my mom said, sipping her iced tea like she hadn't just dropped a bomb on the table. I blinked. What? From your scholarship, my dad added. You said it comes with a stipend, right? You don't need all that. You'll have a meal plan, a dorm. You're practically getting college for free, my mom continued. This is just a way you can give back for everything we did for you. I was stunned. I explained calmly, carefully, that the stipend wasn't some magical pile of cash. It was budgeted. Rent over summers, textbooks, toiletries, clothes, emergencies. My dad rolled his eyes. We raised you for 18 years. Fed you. Put a roof over your head. We're asking for a small gesture. My mom added, It's not like we're asking for all of it. Just enough to help us make this special. I said no. Politely, firmly. Number. They didn't speak much after that. They paid for the check and drove home without saying a word. I walked. When I got home that night, the house was dark. My key still worked. I thought maybe that would be the end of it. The next day, I came home from work, and my key didn't work. On the porch were 2 garbage bags, everything I owned. On top of the bag, taped to an empty cardboard box, was a neon green sticky note. If you're so grown, go live like it. When you're standing outside your own house, holding 2 black trash bags full of your life, it's hard not to feel like the world has ended. I stood there on the porch for a long time, just staring at that neon green sticky note. If you're so grown, go live like it. At first, I just stood there in shock, waiting for someone to open the door and say this was some twisted joke. But no one came. No one peeked through the blinds, no apology, no second thoughts. That was it. I tried calling them. My mom blocked me. My dad let it ring, then sent me a text that said, "We made our decision. Time for you to make yours." I didn't even cry. Not yet. I just sat on the edge of the porch for almost an hour, trying to figure out where the hell I was supposed to go. I didn't have a car. Most of my cash was still in the bank, and my wallet was in my work apron, inside the house. So I did the only thing I could think of. I texted Jason. Jason had been my best friend since 6th grade. He's the kind of guy who shows up with snacks when you're sad and makes dumb jokes until you laugh. His family had always been warm. His mom would always ask how my day was when I visited. His dad once gave me a ride to a job interview without even blinking. Jason replied immediately, "Come over. We'll figure it out." I walked the 2.5 miles to his house, dragging those trash bags with me. People looked. One guy even rolled down his window to shout something at me, but I didn't hear it. I was too focused on keeping one foot in front of the other. By the time I got to Jason's place, I was drenched in sweat and barely holding it together. His mom opened the door before I could even knock. She looked at me, really looked at me, and then pulled me into a hug. "You're staying here," she said. "No arguments." She didn't ask what happened, not right away. She just pointed to the spare room and said, "Shower first. Talk later." That night, I slept in a bed that didn't creak. I had clean sheets, warm food, and a door I could close. And for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. The next morning, I woke up to a breakfast spread like I hadn't seen since childhood. Pancakes, eggs, bacon. Jason's mom just waved off my thanks and said, "You're a part of this family now." I don't think she realized how much that sentence meant to me. I stayed with them for the rest of the summer. I picked up extra hours at the grocery store and used my stipend money to buy some essentials. A new backpack, a basic phone plan, secondhand clothes. I signed up for my dorm move-in, printed out my class schedule, and started planning for life on campus. My parents never reached out, not once. Move-in day came fast. Jason helped me load everything into his mom's minivan. She gave me a hug before I got out and slipped a $20 bill into my palm. "Laundry money," she said with a wink. My dorm was small and basic, but it was mine. 2 twin beds, a desk, and a view of a courtyard filled with students buzzing with excitement and nerves. My roommate Eli was a business major from the city. Loud but cool. We clicked faster than I expected. He didn't ask many personal questions, which I appreciated. I settled in. I went to orientation. I got lost twice. I joined a campus Discord, found out there were free counseling services, and even grabbed a free slice of pizza at some student org fair. It was like I had stepped into another world, a world where no one expected anything from me except that I try. My first semester was hard. The coursework was intense. Balancing class, tutoring sessions, and part-time work took a toll. I didn't have anyone to call for help if something broke or if I got sick. I had to figure out everything on my own. But I made it. I finished my first semester with a 3.8 GPA. I got a job as a tutor in the Academic Success Center. I made a few friends. I started to breathe easier. Every now and then, I'd wonder if my parents knew, if they cared. But I never reached out. And they never did either, until spring semester. That's when the first message came. It was a Facebook message from my mom. "Hey, sweetie, your cousin showed me your campus photo. So proud of you. Can we talk sometime?" My stomach flipped. I hadn't heard from her in almost 9 months. Not when I left, not when I got into college, not when I moved in. Then came the second message. "We've been having a hard time lately. Your dad's job cut his hours and rent is overdue. Would you be able to help out a little? Maybe $300 a month, just for a while?" No apology, no explanation. Just a request for money. When I read that message from my mom, I didn't know what to feel. After everything, being kicked out, ghosted, discarded like an inconvenience, they were back, but not to apologize, not to check on me, not to ask if I was okay. They came back for money. "Would you be able to help out a little, maybe $300 a month? Just for a while." That line kept echoing in my head for days. Just for a while. Just until we're on our feet. Just because we raised you. Just because we let you live under our roof for 18 years. Funny how I never once felt like I was home in that house. Funny how they made sure I never forgot it was their roof. Funny how quickly they could forget that they threw me out of it. I didn't answer the message right away. I needed time. Not because I was conflicted. I wasn't. but because I wanted to be sure that whatever I said, I wouldn't regret. So I talked it out with Jason, with my campus counselor, with myself. I even opened an old journal I kept in high school, the one where I used to write down things I was grateful for. I flipped through it and realized how many times I'd tried to see my parents in a positive light, how many excuses I'd made for them, how many pages were full of hope they never earned. It hurt, but it also helped. Because for the first time, I understood. I didn't owe them anything. After a few days, I sent one message. Just one. Hi, Mom. I saw your message. I've taken a few days to think before responding. I need you to understand something. I did not end up where I am because of you. I ended up here in spite of what you did. I asked for your support, and instead I got a locked door and 2 garbage bags on a porch. I slept on a friend's floor. I worked through the summer. I budgeted every dollar of that stipend so I wouldn't have to come crawling back. I built a life for myself without you, and now, after months of silence, you're only reaching out to ask for money? That's not love. That's not family. That's manipulation. I am choosing peace. That means not giving in to guilt. That means keeping the door closed. Please respect that. I won't be sending money. I won't be coming home. I hope you find your footing, but I'm not your safety net. Please don't contact me again. Then I blocked them. The fallout was quieter than I expected. No dramatic emails, no relatives knocking on my door. Just silence. Jason's mom gave me a long hug when I told her. She said she was proud of me for setting a boundary. You know, she said, sometimes the people who raise you aren't the ones who deserve you. And sometimes the people who do aren't related by blood. That stuck with me. Now, I just got offered an internship for the summer. It's paid, it's competitive. I never thought I'd even make the interview round. Jason and I are planning to get an apartment together next year off campus. His mom calls me every Sunday to check in like clockwork, and I say I love you to her at the end of every call. Because I do. Because she chose me. And that's what I've learned. That family isn't about who shares your last name. It's about who shows up, who stands by you, who treats you like you matter. My parents gave me life, but they didn't give me love. They gave me rules, expectations, ultimatums, and when I didn't give them what they wanted, they cut me out. So I did the same, and you know what? It was the best thing I ever did. TLDR. My parents kicked me out for not giving them scholarship money. Almost a year later, they messaged me asking for help with rent. I said no, I chose myself, and I've never looked back. Thanks for reading.